Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Katie. It's been a while since you've seen me. Actually, you saw me yesterday, right? If you have not seen my new interview with Anna and Celia LeBaron, please check it out. This interview was such a process in the making. We had to go through quite a few channels to get it approved through their studio for their show, and then we had to schedule it. And so we had a couple dates that had already been pre-planned, and then it got pushed out due to some conflicts. So we finally got it up, and then by the time I edited it, it went up late last night. And so it wasn't at the most opportune time to upload a video. So if you haven't checked it out, it's a 2-hour video and it goes over their docu-series called Daughters of the Cult, which is about Ervil LeBaron's group. For my Sister Wives fans, I think you'll enjoy this video because it'll give you a better understanding of the background of the church that Christine Brown came from. And when they talk about Christine's grandfather, Rulon, this story directly correlates to Christine's grandfather that they talk about so much about on the show, about how he was just the glorious man that founded their church. So you can do that, and I'll have that linked in my comments, or I'll have it linked in the description box so you can see the interview. Before you go, I want to just tell you something. About 9 months ago, I stopped appearing regularly on this channel. And when it first happened, I never intended to be off camera for as long as I was. And it was very frustrating for me because back in May, I started noticing this bump on my eyebrow, and it just sort of got expanded and it went all the way across my face. And over the summer, it just got worse and worse and worse. And as it was getting worse and worse and worse, I was not sure if it was something that needed to be treated, and it was just a whole thing. And every time I thought it was getting better, I would go onto my community tab and I'd say, okay, I think it's getting better and I should be back soon. I realized those promises to my audience were left on, I made promises that I couldn't keep because I didn't know that I couldn't keep them. So I believed I would be back soon. I thought it would heal quickly. I didn't think that it would be this long. And I wish I wouldn't have made promises that I couldn't have kept. And I'm sad because some of my audience felt confused about why I wasn't on camera. And some of them felt like I was intentionally deceiving them, or that I was changing the format of this channel and they didn't sign up for a voiceover channel only. And I agree, none of you signed up to be following a channel that's just pictures. But I had to do the best I could with what I was dealing with at the time. So I want to just go on here on record and just say I apologize to anyone where I made a promise and I said I would be back on camera soon and it didn't happen. I apologize if I misled anyone unintentionally to thinking that I would somehow be able to come back on camera and that the channel would get back to normal. If you remember, a couple months ago, I actually reappeared on camera and I thought that I would be back more consistently. And unfortunately, it didn't work out that way because I ended up getting COVID. And then after I had COVID, the situation with my eye just wasn't getting any better. So I'll give you a little bit of understanding about what happened and where I'm at today. And hopefully anytime you have any questions about where I'm at or why your channel changed, or if you're on camera anymore and if you'll be back on camera, you can come back to this video and so you know the truth. There's been so many people asking questions, so much speculation, and so much confusion. And I was like, I'm just gonna go on camera and tell people. So back in May, it was around Mother's Day, I was dealing with a bump on my eye that had started out what looked like a pimple. And it was around my eyebrow. And it was around it was like right up here. And it was visible on camera and it was hard to apply makeup around. And over the course of several weeks, that developed into a huge infection. And the infection was so painful. And it was gross. I mean, I had a hard time even looking at myself in the mirror. And I treated it topically. I was trying not to have to deal with antibiotics just because sometimes get bad reactions to antibiotics. And so I try to like treat things as best I can without having to go that route. But it got to a point within a couple months, by I think it was August or late July, that I realized there was nothing that I could do topically to make it get better, and it was only getting worse. So I ended up going to making a doctor's appointment. By this point, it was the middle of the summer, and I was basically locking myself in the house because I was so insecure about anyone seeing my face. And then obviously being on this channel, having to show my face for a living, I felt even more insecure. I also know that it's not easy for anyone to get on camera, and it can be really challenging, especially if you're a woman in this industry, to not look and feel your best. And when I wasn't feeling my best, I felt like if I went on camera, I would be really critical of myself. And I can be really critical of myself, and I shouldn't be. I should just be like, Katie, you're beautiful, go girl. But I'll admit, I have my own insecurities. And so in July, I got started on a round of antibiotics, and it was like a 3-week round. And it seemed to get better, except it didn't. And it was about a week that I was off the antibiotics that it flared up again. And by the time I went back to the doctor, they prescribed a more powerful antibiotic. That antibiotic actually left me feeling really uncomfortable. I had a stomach ache. I was feeling really lightheaded. I couldn't go outside because it was reacts with the UV rays. And so that was in the middle of August, and I literally was on the round for like 2 weeks, almost 3, and I couldn't enjoy being outside with my son or with my family. So it was September by the time I was done with my antibiotics. And I contacted the doctor again because the infection, while it had gotten better, it still felt like there was something underneath my skin that I couldn't get out. And I could feel it, and I could feel the tissue, and it hurt. It hurt to touch. It just hurt. And I would try to tweeze at it and pick at it. And you guys, my picking and tweezing only made things worse. And so every time it would start to heal, I would inevitably start picking and tweezing at it, thinking I could get whatever was in there out, and I couldn't. And we are finally in February, on February 6th of 2024, at a point where the swelling has gone so down that I don't look like a fool in makeup, that the bump that is on my eye isn't as visible as it was, but it's still challenging to put on eyebrows. I don't have any eyebrows anymore, and I love a good brow. And right now I'm already feeling super insecure about the way my eyebrows look. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a woman and I have insecurities too. So within this time frame, there's something important that I've learned. I am way too hard on myself. As a society, we are very hard on women, but I feel like I am way too hard on myself. I also realized that I am so hard on myself, I almost got a little bit agoraphobic in the essence that there were months that I didn't leave the house because I was so petrified by what someone would think of me. There was one time this past summer when I was out walking, and we were walking with our dogs, and a very nice neighbor said hello, and they saw my face, and they're like, oh my God, that looks like it hurts. And I was like, I felt deeply insecure. I felt so self-conscious. I didn't know how to explain myself, and I just felt like I wanted to go and hide. Now, there's nothing infected anymore, but it's still like scar tissue, and it was such a large wound that the process of healing has taken forever. And I absolutely love makeup, and I couldn't apply makeup daily with the way that it was healing. So I wish it was something fun like, Katie, you got plastic surgery. No, I haven't even had Botox since this all went down, and I need Botox. Or, Katie, you're just being silly. That didn't really happen. Or you're just intentionally not showing your face because you're scared and you just don't want to be on camera anymore. Now, incidentally, during the same period, I went through a period where this one person was trying to make my life a little bit difficult. Someone that was a creator on YouTube, and they filed this false restraining order against me. And I was getting all these really mean emails from this group of people that were making me feel a little bit unsafe. So I felt like my already deep insecurity that I was feeling about the way I looked was compounded by the fact that I was feeling really stressed out about being on camera because of the messages I was receiving and all of the crap that I've been going through for years on YouTube, and feeling like a sitting duck sometimes. So I decided I needed to get over it. I can't keep living in a bubble. I can't keep living under a rock. I can't keep not getting dressed in the morning. I can't keep feeling sorry for myself. And I'm just going to try to go on camera and look the best that I can and deliver the content that you guys love so much. So that's why I haven't been on camera. A staph infection on my eyebrow that went out of control, and I have no eyebrows left. So please be gentle with your comments about me. Don't be mean about the way my eyebrows look, because I know some of y'all love to rag on Robin Brown's eyebrows, and I just don't want to be that person. I don't want to have, I don't want to be Crybrows or whatever you guys call her. So let's just be nice, okay, please? Thank you. Okay. I know it's a little hypocritical coming from me, someone that has some snarky videos on this channel. I get it. I get it. I get it. Katie, if you can't dish it, if you can't take it, don't dish it. I agree. I agree. And I'm calling myself out right now. I am calling myself out. So that's this video. You guys, I had a staph infection. It took forever to heal. It is finally still healing. There is still a bit of a bump. It's right here. I can't draw a perfect eyebrow right now, and I have no eyebrows on the side of my head. So it's kind of a walking mess. And then this side of my eyebrows is a little bit just like out of control because I haven't been caring about any of my eyebrows, and so I haven't even tweezed or done a good waxing lately. I'm actually wondering though, I had been waxing my eyebrows for a while, and there was a product that we had been using on them, and I'm almost wondering if that's kind of what had happened with the ingrown hair. Follicle staph infection that I had, basically what it is it's a staph infection that starts in the follicles of your hair. It can be like on your eyebrows, it can be on your arm hair, but it spreads through your follicles, which are underneath your skin. And then it comes up and boils up under, and you kind of deal with what looks like a bunch of hairs that need to come out, and hairs that won't come through, and puffy skin underneath the hair. And what that resulted in is just tweezing out all of these eyebrows that were infected, which I probably shouldn't have done looking back. I should have just let the infection take place, but it hurt. It's so stupid. I feel a lot of shame and sincere regret with the amount of tweezing I've done. I almost feel embarrassed. I'm being honest. I've become a little bit weird, OCD about this whole situation. And I do have ADHD, and I do have tendencies with OCD. And so it could very well have just been my mental health. But it didn't make my mental health good either. So I feel like I need to come back on camera. This is totally rambling. I don't even know where I'm going with this. But follicle staph infections can spread anywhere on your body where one follicle gets infected. And then once you have the infection, there's literally nothing that you can do to stop the infection from stopping unless you get antibiotics. I made the situation worse by not getting treatment for it for 2 months. And I think I would have gotten a lot better quicker and faster had I gone to the doctor right away last May, but I didn't. And that is a decision I regret. So if you're dealing with anything like this, don't wait to seek help. Don't wait to go to the doctor. Don't be afraid to get assistance if you're having something like this. And certainly don't let your pride get in the way of it, or your fear of having to be on medications. I don't like being on antibiotics, and I honestly felt like that was the reason why I didn't go. It's so stupid because I have a child that's on all kinds of medications, and why wouldn't I want antibiotics? They work. Can't explain it. So don't do what I did. Go to a doctor. And if someone suggests that it's a staph infection and you are adamant that it's not because you don't want to believe that it is because you don't want to be on antibiotics, don't be mean. Don't be rude to people recommending that you go to a doctor. I know that I was a little bit testy about that in the beginning. And that is, again, my own insecurities about going to the doctor and my own issues with being on antibiotics. I have ADHD. I have anxiety. And I have it's like symptomatic OCD that can be made worse with ADHD when I have anxiety. And so it can just turn out to what happened in the last 9 months. And I'm committed to being back on camera. I'm committed to doing what I can for this channel. And I just wanted to share with you what was going on with me, with my eye, and honestly, just with my mental health. And I think this is going to help me feel better, and it's going to help my mental health feel better to be back on camera and to actually feel like a member of society and not be scared to be out in public anymore. So I'm no longer afraid. I'm no longer scared about being online, and I hope all of you can accept my sincere apologies for why I've been off camera and why I took so long to get there. And I hope all of you will continue to watch and be impressed with the content I'm putting out. I hope you watch the interview with Anna and Celia. I truly hope you do. I do. I think you'll actually really like it. And it'll give you a lot of backstory about all of the culture that is on Sister Wives. So I would love to hear more about what your thoughts are. Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.